Now, this is a prime example of when you can get your wake up call at any moment in time, right? You can easily say in this particular situation where, well, these black cops, they were in the status quo. They were upholding the system of justice, right? They were upholding the system of injustice, rather, the system of white supremacy, right? And I always call that, law enforcement is the largest terrorist organization on the planet. They have been since day one, since inception, since the 1789 Judiciary Act, okay, when U.S. Marshals were first created in the United States. Look it up. I got the link right here. But you could say, yeah, man, they've been police officers for this long, and they haven't said nothing. They've been, upholding the status quo, right, abiding by the system of white supremacy all this time. But again, like I said, you can have your wake up call any moment in time. And now this is a perfect example of these two high ranking officers, one being Assistant Police Chief Abdul Pridgen and Deputy Chief Vance Keys, right? These guys are from Texas, if I'm not mistaken. These guys were high ranking officers. All right. As I just told you, Assistant Police Chief and Deputy Chief. And they both work in internal affairs. Right. So they're being accused of leaking confidential information about a investigation they've been working on for misconduct of another police officer. And they wanted to expose that police officer. They've been accused of that. And so now they have a GoFundMe page right here called Pridgen and Keys Justice Initiative. And I'll play the video in a minute. And they're talking about, exposing and, denouncing police brutality in law enforcement and actually starting a separate organization like, the terrorist organization Blue Lives Matter, who I follow on Twitter. They're hilarious. I mean, that's the most openly racist organization I've seen in quite some time. Holy crap, these guys. The person that's in charge of that Twitter account, I mean, no chill whatsoever. But anyway, these guys want to start a organization in tune like a Blue Lives Matter, but this is going to be focusing on police brutality, injustices, right? And particularly for African Americans, right? This is what they want to do. Here's the thing, family. Like, for me personally, the system of justice, like I've always said, needs to be replaced. Doesn't need to be, we don't need to work with them. We need to rebuild, meaning that what we have in place right now since 1789, right? Since the U.S. Marshals were first created, as you can see here, this is what they were doing. They were slave chasers, right? That's what they did. They chased slaves or killed slaves or brought them back to their slave masters. That was the actual inception of law enforcement in the United States. And it still continues to this day, just evolved in different paradigms, right? But this particular system needs to be eradicated and replaced with a true system of justice, right? This is what I believe. So it needs to be destroyed. Okay. But in this case, these guys are, they are police officers. They are in law enforcement. And they finally got their wake up call after all these years they're working with the so-called system of justice. They finally say, hey, well, we got to talk about police brutality, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I acknowledge them for that because, again, not only is law enforcement the largest terrorist organization on the planet, they are the basically the creators of the no snitch policy. Like, there are very, very, very few. These two guys right here are unicorns. Even the guys who got that wake up call, even the black cops who got that wake up call, being charged with, misconduct or injustices, obviously racism within their police department. They don't speak out about it. They just hold a code of silence, because the code of silence within race soldiers or law enforcement is very prevalent. But these guys, they decided to speak out. So these guys are a unicorn. This rarely happens. So I do commend them. I do acknowledge them for that, which is why I'm making this video. I do acknowledge them for that. And so them making a GoFundMe page, I support this. I definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and make a donation. Right now they're at 12,000 and they're seeking 76,000 for their goal. So I do support this initiative, although the end game would be to totally eradicate this so-called system of justice and replace it with a system of true justice. All right. It's really a system of injustice, rather. Replace this particular broken system of injustice with the system of justice. It needs to be eradicated. The law enforcement department needs to be totally destroyed, right? And started from the ground up. But again, guys like these high-ranking officers who are now demoted, actually, they got demoted. Usually what happens is if you're a black cop and you do something, egregious, you get fired or you get paid administrative leave and then fired. These guys just got demoted. So I guess that's kind of a good thing on their end. At least they got money still flowing, right? So, but these guys acknowledging police brutality and injustices pertaining towards African Americans, I commend them for that. All right. So let me play this video real quick and I'll end it off with my commentary on this. So you'll see where they're coming from. Here we go.
You don't have the right to grab and choke nobody's son.
Okay.
Nobody. So I have a problem with that. My son is 7 years old. You don't have the right to grab him, choke him behind no paper that he threw.
Well, why don't you get your son off the litter?
But it doesn't matter if he did or didn't. It doesn't give him the right to put his hands on him.
Why not?
Because he don't. He don't. What you mean?
If you keep yelling at me, you're going to piss me off. I'm going to take you to jail. Okay. No, I'm not. Here in Fort Worth, just like in many cities across the nation, officers have been caught on camera violating the rights of civilians. Anybody who has to interfere, they're going to be jailed too. As a retired officer with 30 years of experience, I've been asked by friends and family all across the nation, why don't good officers come forward when they see rogue officers acting outside the law? Assistant Chief Pridgeon and Deputy Chief Keys were the only two men on the command staff of the Fort Worth Police Department to stand up and do what's right. Both men used their experience and position to help ease the traumatic experience that Ms. Craig and her daughters were facing. Furthermore, both officers disagreed vehemently with the light punishment of Officer Martin. However, in doing so, they became the target of a bogus investigation and character assassination.
All we did was speak out against the hypocrisy that has come to dominate the culture of law enforcement. Police officers, for the most part, are good people. They want to speak out, they want to do the right thing, but they're demonized, their reputations are tarnished, and they're mischaracterized when they come forward to say enough is enough.
If they're allowed to do this to us, others will be intimidated. Those who have an inkling in their hearts to do the right thing are going to be frightened by the consequences that have befallen myself and Vance Keys.
This cannot be tolerated. The only way for this situation to be rectified and the truth to come out is for these two officers to file a lawsuit and tell their side of the story. This is where we need the citizens to come in.
We're calling on you, the citizens of this great city, this great state, and this great nation, to come to our aid.
So please stand with us for justice. Stand with us against injustice. Help us stop this perpetual cycle
And the blue wall of silence that mischaracterizes and cripples us all as citizens of the United States. Thank you.
Good video. Like I said, I fully support this, man. I fully support this. In game, I'm going to reach out to these guys and let them know exactly what needs to be done long term. Of course, like I said, this system of injustice needs to be replaced with a true system of justice. Law enforcement needs to be eradicated top to bottom and destroyed. That's long term. And that's going to take a collective group of us to work on that. Bottom line. Now, ultimately, myself, I call myself the black separatist. I believe in separating from those people who oppress us. People classified as white, and even our own people. Right? Our own people who make us look bad. Right? We need to separate ourselves completely from all 9 areas of activity. We need to have our own resources that we create and control. It's just that simple. Right? That's the long-term goal. Right. But again, like I said, this is significant because you don't have hardly any. It's basically a code of silence. The no snitch policy was created by police officers. Right. That is the largest terrorist organization on the planet. We know this. And so when you have these two guys speaking out against police brutality, right, calling out race soldiers in their own department and saying, no, this is wrong, and I'm going to start a crowdfunding campaign to help spark this initiative, I have to commend them on that. I just have to. And so I fully support what they're trying to do, right? I get they just got their wake-up call. I get it. They're still evolving. I get it. And like I said, I fully support what they're trying to do. I can only hope that this particular thing, what they're trying to accomplish, gets accomplished and get their goal of $76,000 so that they can start their organization and their campaign, etc. I would like to see this coming to fruition, and I would like to see more black cops speak out about injustices. Of course, we all know that it's not just a state; it's every state in America. Every black cop in all of these states have a story to tell. They need to speak out. And so these can't be the only unicorns, the only 2 black cops that have had issues. I want to see more come out and say something. Well, we'll see what happens, family. But anyway, I'll leave the link down below in the description. The GoFundMe link, I'll leave that in the description as well. And I found out about this through Twitter. So through this attorney, actually, Lee Merritt Esquire. All right. That's how I found out about this story. So shout out to him, and definitely go check out the GoFundMe and go support this initiative, like I said. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section also, family. All right. Until next time, Chauncey, a.k.a. The Black Separatist. Make sure you follow me on social media at The Black Separatist on Instagram and Twitter. Signing out. Peace.